4. It is Thursday, the 4th of February, and today we are using our reading skill. Does anyone remember who this is? The lovely picture of a dog in a dress. It is Sheba. It is summarising Sheba, and Sheba summarises different pieces of text, and she might ask some questions like this one. Summarise the story of Asterix in only 30 words. Do you reckon you can do that? If you've got 30 bits of pasta, do you think you could, every bit of pasta, say a different word and summarise the whole of Asterix using only 30 bits of pasta? Pause the video and have a go. Okay, now, Julius Caesar, he was the leader of the Roman army. But my question to you is, was Julius Caesar a good leader? Now, I've got loads of different facts about him here. But if you were answering this question, would you say all of them? Would you say he was a general in the Roman army? That kind of does say that he was a leader, but not a good leader. Would you say he was a poet to say whether he was a good leader or not? Probably not. So if I put a little cross through he was a poet, because that is not helpful in answering this question. Does it help me to say that he was born in 100 BC? No, it doesn't help me answer this question. He was kidnapped by pirates. Does that make him a good leader or a bad leader? Oh, it could answer the question, because you could say no, because he was kidnapped by pirates. So I'll leave that one there. Was he a good leader? He defeated a Germanic tribe by building a bridge to cross the Rhine River. He defeated them, he beat them, he took over. So yes, that could help us answer this question. He conquered, so he took over the whole of France. So the Gauls in France, he took over. Yeah, that shows that he's a good leader. He fell in love with Pharaoh's sister Cleopatra in Egypt. Does that help us answer that question? No. And he was attacked and killed in 44 BC. Does that help us tell us whether he's a good leader or not? Not really. So you can see when answering a question, there's lots of things you don't know. And you can summarise your thoughts by just using a few key things. And we can use the PEE acronym. So here we've got point, evidence, and last time we said explain, but another way of saying it is elaborate. Elaborate is kind of give more information. It says here, explain this example further. So we're still answering this question. Was Julius Caesar a good leader? What do you think? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? I think he was. He led the Roman army very, very well. And I'm going to write my answer using P-E-E-P. So, my point is, Julius Caesar is a good leader. That is my point. That is my first sentence that kind of says, yes, he is a good leader. Evidence, an example from history. Well, I need to go back to my thoughts, my facts. He was a good leader because he was a general in the Roman army. That's quite high up. So he led a lot of people. But does that say that he was a good leader? Not really. He conquered all of France? Yeah, I'm going to use that. Let's see if I can copy it. He conquered all of France. Lovely. I'm going to put that here as my evidence. Julius Caesar is a good leader. He conquered all of France. And that's a little bit boring, so I'm just going to put during his time as a general, he conquered all of France. And then to elaborate on that, to explain this further, what does that show? This shows that he has good strategic plans, meaning he's good at making strategies to win, and can organise an army well. Because if you couldn't organise an army, there's no way that you would conquer all of France. Now, when we're doing this, we need to make a point that's a summarising sentence, so just one sentence. We need to give evidence as an example from the past, which you'll be getting from different bits of information today. And we need to elaborate, we need to give more information and what it shows. Now pause the video here and write your own PEE to answer this question, was Julius Caesar a good leader? Pause the video and use different advice. You might want to skip back to this slide here so you can see some of the things you might want to use. Okay, and today I would like you to read the information that I've put on the assignment about schools. Now this is a really interesting piece because you know a lot about school at the moment in England, but what were they like back in the Roman times over 2,000 years ago? I don't know. Your first question to answer is, were schools in the Roman times similar to what they are like now? So you need to put a point. You need to say schools were very different in the Roman times, or you could put schools were similar in the Roman times. Then give evidence. Then give a piece of information that you found out from the text that I've given you, or something that you know already as evidence. And then elaborate, so explain this further, so you can say how different that is in comparison to now. If they weren't using paper and pen then, but they do now, you can explain that in the elaborate section. Now, if you haven't got a printer, you don't have to print these out. You could just put P, E, and E. Okay, and just write a sentence or two against each of those. Your other question to answer today is, what equipment did the Romans have at school? So that's things like Arabia writing wax tablet, or maybe a different board, or maybe the equipment that they had that they could play with. What equipment did they have at school? And there's lots of bits in the text that you can use. Okay. Let a teacher know if you need any help getting on with this. The expectation is that you write 2 lots of PEE answering these 2 questions. Okay, have a good day. Bye.